Good morning, drummers! My name is Jared O'Leary, and I've been playing drums for over 20 years, but I still have plenty of stuff to work on. Speaking of, we're going to work on things today. We're going to work on this. On my website, we're going to start off with a warm-up, and we're going to warm up with one of the 1,500 hours of free drumming content, one of the play-alongs on here. They go as slow as 20 beats per minute, all the way up to 240 beats a minute. Tons of technique, chop, over 600 grid variations, over 100 bass permutations, etc. So, more every single day. Let me actually do this real quick. Whoa. It's on the wrong screen. That's funny. Okay. So, today I'm going to be working on the book. It's called Quad Logic. And Quad Logic is like one of the best play along, or rather one of the best books on tenor drums that I can think of. Another good one is Julie Davila's book. I forget the name of that one. Dang it. It's over on my shelf over there. But we are going to be warming up, and then I'm going to actually be using this exercise as a tool to kind of go through the first page and a half of Quad Logic. Which, let me show you it. This is the book, Quad Logic. So I'm specifically working on pages 38, 39, and 40 this morning. We're going to go through them fairly quick. And if you're interested, you can actually find a direct link to this in the /gear on my website. So the /drum will take you to this page that's got all the play-alongs. But if you go to Gear I Use, or if you're up here and go to Gear I Use, then that takes you to this, and this has everything. Like, what's my microphone? What kind of tenor pad do I use? What kind of sticks do I use? Etc. And if you go to the books, then it has a link to Quad Logic right here. I highly recommend that book. And that clickety-clack, by the way, is Minnie, if you hear that. Who's my doggo? All right, so we're going to warm up, and we're going to go ahead and just, warm up with something for fun, just to get our blood flowing in our hands. So we're going to do float drags with flam 5s. Yesterday I did it with flam drags, but I'm in a flam 5 kind of mood. Oh, 190. Whoo! Ambitious. All right, so if we go into the description of every one of these play-alongs, if you open this up, you can scroll down and you can play this one as slow as 40 beats per minute or as fast as 200. So I'm going to go ahead and start off at 140. We'll see how that goes. Have not played yet, so stay tuned, folks. We're going to find out. This is the check. Off the left. Alright, so we're intentionally trying to find the breaking point with the playing. But first, before I get to the breaking point, I'm actually just trying to get the blood flowing. I'm going to stretch and massage, and then we'll get to a breaking point with this. A little out of order there. Okay, here we go. Alright, 150. I think I'll probably get to 160. And then I'm going to stretch and massage, which is the same stretch and massage routine that I do every time I practice. And even on days off. It's just good to keep your arms, hands nice and healthy. My ring hit the cymbal right behind me on the drum kit. I've had to like retrain myself to say drum kit instead of drum set. I wrote some kind of academic publication, and they're like, well, drum kit's the more popular term. I'm like, really? I've only heard drum set. Maybe that's an Arizona thing. And I trust the person who said it because they also have their PhD in music education, like I do. And their dissertation was actually on the drum kit. So I was like, oh, yeah, you probably know more about that than I do. Also not my primary instrument. My primary is rudimental. Drum kit is something I'm trying to get better at, which I'll do next Monday for a practice stream. Alright, let's stretch and massage. So, first thing I'm going to do is hold my sticks like this. And this is underhand. Then you pull in, and you follow through, and you're still in underhand, and oh yeah. Good stretch. This feels good. I'm just going to kind of sit with this. Nice. Feels weird. Huh. Different than it was yesterday. All right, so if you do traditional, which would be weird if you're practicing tenors, but hey, to each their own. You stretch that way, hold that way, but I don't do that anymore. All right, so now I'm going to stretch the underside of the tendons. You could do this on the wall like I demonstrated in yesterday's stream, but I'm going to do it on the pads. Don't put all your weight into this. You just kind of want to get enough to give it a good stretch. Hold it there for a little bit. Hamstrings are tight.
Using your hamstrings to drum?
Yeah, you don't use your hamstrings when you drum?
No. Are you doing that?
So much more to learn. Okay, so then I need to stretch the top side of the forearm. You could do it one at a time. You could do it on the wall like I did yesterday, or you could do it on your pad, or even on your legs like this, or a little brother, or whatever. Just kidding. Be respectful. Again, don't put all your weight into it. Now I'm going to do thumb to thumb. So we're going to do the fingers, stretch each one of them. And I'm just doing it twice as fast by doing thumb on thumb. Index to index. I like how my dog Minnie is underneath her two-story doggo bed in the little grotto area. She's sleeping. That's where I normally put the camera when I'm doing the drumming or the gaming streams like I did last night on Fortnite. And she's like, she lays there when the camera is not on her. But when the camera's on it, she's like, nope, I'm going to lay on top. Goofball. All right, let's get some water. Thirsty. All right. Now we're going to massage. So massaging with the thumb on top, and the fingers are massaging underneath the forearm. Just trying to loosen everything up. Yeah. Water went down the wrong pipe a little bit. It's like tickling. My left fingers are still tight. They were tight yesterday as well. I wonder why. She swallowed the fly. Alright, now I'm going to massage with the back side with the fingers, and then the palm is going to get massaged by the thumb. So I'm doing both sides of the hand. Just kind of working my way around it. Making my way downtown. And then to the other hand. After you massage your hand, then you go with fingers. So base to tip massaging. And do that at least 2 times. If the finger, like this ring finger on the right hand is a little tight, so did that one 3 times. I was gonna say, if the finger's a little tight, then do more. Otherwise, 2 times should be good. Just trying to loosen everything up, get nice and relaxed so we can play and have healthy hands and play for a long time. I've been playing for over 20 years, and the first few years when I started drumming, I got tendonitis, I got a popped vein, like this whole area turned like purple and black, and then I had early signs of like carpal tunnel, so fixed my technique, saw a hand specialist, and learned some these stretches and massages, and I was like, okay, I need to take care of my hands and, play better with better technique. And now I don't have those problems. Okay, now that we've stretched and massaged, we're going to get back to this. So after I do a little stretch and massage routine, I go back to whatever it is that I was playing. Where's my mouse? There it is. And I just intentionally find the breaking point. So this one, honestly, I'm pretty close. Like, this is fast. Let's see how fast we can get, folks. A little slow on that turnaround. Okay. Now we're going to go to 170. And we'll see if we crash and burn here. Stay tuned, folks. Today's episode of Jared Practices Pub Glee. Well, that was a wee bit sloppy, but it's okay. 175 is probably going to be it. And then I'm going to get into Quad Logic. We'll call it there. Now, by the way, yesterday, on my YouTube channel, if you just go to my YouTube channel, I released my first vlog. It's the first time ever creating something like this. And it's actually, like, right under videos is this one. Hey, it's my wife and I. And if you want to find it, also, you can find it in the playlist or also under the gaming content. The vlogs are in here. All one of them. But yeah. It's a fun little video. So if anyone's interested in seeing what our trip to Hawaii was like, it's a pretty accurate representation of that. But let's go back to here. All right, so we're going to be working on tenors. So let me get rid of my heavy sticks. And we're specifically going to be doing double stops. Let's do this camera. Okay, so with double stops, you're going to be playing both notes at the same time. It creates a very distinct popping sound when they hit at the same time. So if I'm playing a double stop and it sounds like this, that little chut, chut, chut sounds kind of like a flam, except like the grace note is really high, then that's a bad double stop. You want to make it so that you get that little bit of a popping sound whenever you're doing this. Whether the double stop is crossover or not, you want to make sure you do not have that flam high grace note sound. You also want to try and balance out the hands. So when doing the double stops where there's a wrist over wrist or it's a stick over stick, I'm actually going to say it correctly. Whether you're doing like a stick over stick crossover or you're doing a wrist over wrist crossover, you want to make sure you don't have one hand higher than the other. And you want to make sure that even if they're the same height, that they are being played with the same velocity. So the same amount of speed going from the maximum height into the head, the same touch. Okay, so you don't want to have one moving faster than the other, etc. Okay, so the exercise that I'm going to be working on is just going eighth notes into triplets with the same pattern, where you're doing right, left, both, both, into 16th notes. Ooh, those were not good. But instead of doing that, I'm going to, instead of doing it as written on those pages, I'm going to use, under the technique exercises on my website, where is it? I'm going to use Rebound. So this is going to take a little bit longer than it would if I just played it. But we've got several variations in here. So I'm just going to start at 90 and just kind of like let it happen. Okay, so the first one is right, left, both, both. And so this is on drums 1 and 2. And I'm going to do it with quarter notes all the way up through 16th notes. Both, both, right, left, both, both, right, left, both, both, right, left, both, both, right, left, both, both. Rushed a little bit. Oops. And that clicking that you heard, by the way, was the ring clicking on my stick. Now you go left, right, both, both. Left, right, both, both. Oops. Just thinking about a conversation and not about my drumming. Whoopsies. Now, the remainder of this is basically the same thing. It's like, all right, now do right, left, both, both, but this time, instead of on drums 1 and 2, now do it on drums 2 and 3. And then do it off your left. And then do it on 3 and 4. That's basically exercises 1 through 6. So we're going to skip those remaining 4 because it's basically the same thing. You don't really need to do that, in my opinion. But it does make it so you have more exercises in your book. Ugh. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. So the next one is down the drums. So we've got... How does it want you to do it, though? It doesn't tell you which hand is on top. Is it that? No, it can't be that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's weird. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I keep screwing up. There we go. Okay, let's try that with this. Oops. I'm actually going to slower. So when I get to the 16th notes, because like mentally I'm already screwing this one up, I just know it's not gonna go good. So let's try this. Let's just do it at 70. This is a weird pattern. I've never ever played this on tenors before. It's just not natural. You'll notice that I'm starting and stopping with my sticks up. That's intentional. Oops. I keep screwing up the pattern. It's like the easiest pattern, but like mentally it's just weird. Because like all you're doing is with the right hand, and then the left hand is just doing, it's the 2 on drum 2, that's the weird part. Like it feels like it should just be a 3-note pattern. Which is what I was doing when it switched over to triplets. Okay. Now, to make things more confusing, it does the opposite on the next one. So it goes up the drums. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Wow, that's just like really messing with my brain. Like surprising amount. But I'm not like sitting here like, oh, I need to practice this starting at 40. I am going to slow it down to 60. But again, it's one of those things like, when would you ever play this? Never. All right. A little peanut butter toast. That was weird. Oops. Starting off strong. Oops. Weird is messing with my brain. Honestly, it might be easier if I could hear the different pitches, but you can't really do that on this pad. But yeah. It's like I can play it. All you're doing is double stops, but mentally, I'm just like, wait, what's the pattern again? Oh well. All right. Let's get on to something more fun. Okay, so next one, number 9, crosses on 1 and 2. So this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. What? Okay. Okay, so kind of like 4-2-1's it. So let's do. Whoops, not maps. Metronome. Different app. fast for that last one. All right, so let's try this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I added in the repeat just to make it consistent. It's weird. So we have crossover, 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 crossover. Here's what it looks like from the front. 1, 2, repeat, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat 2, 3, 4. Whoops. Let's try that again. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 of each. 3, 4. Repeat 1, 2, 3, 4, and then crossover. I don't know why you would ever do something like that, but that's how it's written. Okay, the next one. Crossovers on 2 and 3. Okay, so it's the same idea, except now you're just doing it between these two drums rather than these two drums. And then, my guess is number 11. Yep, is on 3 and 4. Which, this is going to be difficult when you do the... that one. So let's slow this down a little bit. We're going to skip number 10 because it's basically the same thing. You're just doing it on 2 and 3 instead of 1 and 2. All right, let's see how this last measure goes. Same idea. 2, ready, repeat. 1, 2. Switch the hands. 1 of each. I screwed up. Now crossovers. So that's quite the peck exercise. Let's try that again. Different camera angle. Off the left, then the right hand crossover, then the left hand crossover, right crossover, left crossover, right crossover, left crossover, everything. Again, why would you ever play that? I don't know. That's just how it's written, folks. Let's take a look at the next one. Flip-flop crosses down the drums. Oh, that sounds like fun. Let's see what this one is. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. What? 1, 2, 3. Oh no, it's the pattern from before. But now it has a crossover. Oh no. Okay, so the right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going Spock 2, 2, 4. While the left hand is going to go 1, or Spock 1, 3, 3. Okay, so weird. There for the first one. Left hand crossover. Left hand crossover. Still left hand crossover. But this one's a wrist over wrist. Okay. I screwed up already. It's just messing with my brain. So the second half of this exercise, by the way, is we have here right hand crossover, right hand crossover, right hand crossover. Okay? I'm going to slow this down because my brain does not compute this weird pattern. 1, 2. Here we start with a left hand cross over, left hand cross over, left hand cross over, left hand cross over, right hand. Oh, I screwed up. Oh, 1, 2, starting with right. Right hand, cross over. Right hand, cross over. Right hand, cross over. Last time. Tenors are slightly off. Different angle. Left hand, cross over. Last time. Right hand, cross over. Weird. I'm noticing when I'm doing this that I've got one hand that's significantly higher than the other, so that's bad. Let's try it again. A 1, a 2. Oopsies. I screwed up the pattern because I was trying to look at my heights. Yeah, so my hand that's crossing over is still too high. Try it again. I screwed the pattern. I don't know why these are messing with my brain. 2. Here we go. We'll get it eventually, folks. Interesting. It's actually the left that's low. Let's try it again. 1, 2. Yeah, it's hard, like, this angle looking at it. Normally I'd have my mirror right in front of me, but my left hand is actually the one that's off, so I need to work on this again. It's just too low. All right, that's weird. Let's see. Flip-flop crosses up the drums. I did this wrong. Both of them. This one. No way. Why would you do that? I assumed incorrectly. You know what they say about people who assume. Okay, so this is technically supposed to be crossover, crossover, crossover. I don't know why on earth you'd ever do that. So we're not. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. I'm going to skip 12 and 13 because that's just weird. And not like weird like I can't play it weird, although I currently can't, but weird like why would you ever play that? It just doesn't make sense. As somebody who's like written tenor parts for years, like I wrote different show music and book and whatnot for like a decade, I would never write something like that. Like, why on earth would you do that? That's weird. Okay, so we have I'm trying to not like show this stuff because of copyright, but this is really funky looking. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. Followed by 1, 2, 3. This is weird. I actually don't really like it. Again, like, I don't know why you would ever play this. Like, when it gets to later on, it's got some different flam stuff. And, like, that's actually musical. And then we got scrapes. But this stuff, it seems like a tedious exercise. And I don't know. Like, I'm thinking out loud. Like, would this even be interesting to watch on a stream? I don't think it would. Like, it's weird. Let's take a look at the next one. So we have... That's really weird how he wrote that. So he wrote it as on a D, if this were on a treble clef, so like on the line. And it's supposed to indicate double stop on drum 2. That's interesting. Never seen that before, actually. Usually you just like see a B, as in both hands playing simultaneously. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't like this one either. The next one's just weird. Okay, so then the one after this is just... Oops. 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 I keep wanting to do it on 3 and 4 instead of 1 and 2. Well, played that poorly. This one's just a permutation. Kind of looks like... No, don't like that one either. I know it's not an exciting stream. Actually didn't look at these in advance to see like how far I would get. Like here's another one, so you would go. Oops. I'm not interested in it. I was initially thinking, okay, I'll just go through like all of these, just one by one, but I honestly just want to get to learning some of the more interesting stuff later on. I think one of the things that I need to do is just like actually plan out these tenor streams a little bit more. Because, like, just going through each one of the exercises isn't necessarily interesting. So, tell you what. 2 days from now, when I do the next tenor stream, I'll start with scrapes. So that'll be on page 43. And I'll go through those. And we'll see how far we get. And then we have triple beat scrapes. Okay. I haven't gone through this book in several years. Okay, and then we'll eventually learn those. Okay, so then these are really long. You're a decent beginner on the tenors. How can you sweep and cross arms without the stick hitting your hands or other sticks? Good question. I'm actually going to talk about that more next time, but I can talk about it now. So there's two different types of crossovers. One type of crossover is a stick over stick crossover. The other type of crossover is a wrist over wrist crossover. So this is usually only done on drums 3 and 4. Sometimes, depending on the size of your tenors, it might be done on drums like 2 and 3, or even 1 and 4. Most of what you're going to be doing is going to be a stick over stick crossover when you're doing this. Now, when you're doing a sweep, so you're going from, it's also called a scrape for some people. So when you're doing this, you're going from one drum to another. So like if you're doing diddles, which is 2 on a hand, something like that. If you're doing it as a crossover, you might have to move out of the way and even more than you are used to. So the thing that you want to focus on is the shortest distance from this particular head to the next drum that you're going to be playing on, and keeping it equidistant from the rim. So when you're playing on this, you can play anywhere as long as it's the same distance from the rim. So you don't want to play from here to the center of the head, but you can play from here to anywhere along the side. Now, the reason why I'm telling you that is because when you're playing these diddles, sometimes you're going to take the shortest distance from right here, but other times you might need to move more towards the outside to get your hands out of the way so you don't have your sticks hitting on sticks. Like, let me show you, like here. Like, this is getting in the way, and I'm going to kind of collapse on itself. So you might need to move your hand a little bit further up or a little bit further back to get a different placement for the diddles or there, okay? So does that make sense? So when you're doing these crossovers, any kind of sweeps on these, one thing that I highly recommend doing is focusing not necessarily on the hand that's on top, which is what a lot of people do. And so you'll see their hands look like this, which is what I was doing earlier, but let me show you from this angle. Okay, so we got the right hand on top, and this is making it so that we're getting a nice right hand sweep, but the left hand is too low with this, so you want to make sure that you have a nice balance with the hands and get it so that the hand that's underneath is playing high enough. However, actually I'll keep this camera angle. However, you want to also make sure that your hand that's underneath is low in terms of where the wrist is to the drum. So another tendency that a lot of people have when they're playing sweeps is they start to raise up like this. So their shoulders start to raise up, which if you have a carrier on, that's going to make it so your drums also go with it. So it's not going to have any change in the height in your drums from your hands. So it kind of screws things up and makes you tight, which makes your biceps tight, which makes your forearm tight, and then your fingers, etc. So it works its way down. But when you're doing this, the hand that's underneath, it's got like an issue where it's going to make it so that your hand is going to hit more when you are doing this because you're raising it up rather than getting it out of the way. So let me show you here. So if our hand is underneath, the higher you raise this, the more likely you're going to hit. But the lower you can keep this while keeping the hand on top, the more space there is for your hands to be able to move up and down. So if you start raising this up, now you're going to be hitting. If you do stick over stick, you're going to get some issues as well. It's just going to raise your heights. And then you're going to get snare players making fun of you because you're going to have tenor heights where everything just looks all the same rather than having distinct like accents and taps, etc. So hopefully, James, that answers your question, but good question. But next time when I am working through this, I'll be doing some more scrapes, crossovers, and whatnot. But a fun one that you can work on for an exercise is like windmills. So you can just do... And so I'm doing this outside, but you can also do this on the inside. Another one is, heard it called Around the World, but you add in the interior drums, and then you go back the other way. Okay, so let's break it down real quick. So you're going 1 3 1 3, then you cross over 2 4 2 4 2 4, and then you cross over 1 3, and then it repeats itself. 1 3 1 3 2 4 2 4 2 4 1 3 repeat. Okay, so that is the windmills, and then the Around the World. You're going 1 3 1 3, but then you go into 1 2 1 2. I totally just like mental fart. Okay. 1 3 1 3 1 3. Then 2 1 2 1, and then you go across 2 4 2 4 2 4 2 1 2 1 1 3 1. I can't speak. 1 2 1 2. Okay, so you're going out out. Then going the other direction, back over, over. This is the turnaround, so it repeats off the other hand. And let me show you what that looks like from the other angle. So windmills were this. It's in a 3 pattern. 1 2, and then it repeats itself. 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2. Almost lost that. And then for the other one, the Around the World's, we have our turnaround on here. Here's the turnaround where it does it off the left. That's the start of the right hand, etc. I don't know if that helps, but I'll talk about more about scrapes on, what day is today? Today's Thursday. On Saturday when I do the next tenor stream. So, yeah. Weird exercises in Quad Logic. I was actually surprised at how much I didn't like those. Like, when on earth would you, like, do this in show music or something? That'd be weird. Anyways, we're going to play along to something to chop out to. Whoopsies. We're back on my website, jaredoleary.com/drum, and we are going to play one of the exercises on here. Over 600 grid variations, bunch of technique stuff, over 100 bass permutations, etc. But we're going to chop out, and we're going to chop out with 4210 Shopping Spree. Don't know what speed that is, but if we click Show More, and then we're going to start at 140. You can go to whatever BPM you want. But I'm intentionally just going to chop out with this just for funsies. I'm playing with Hardeman hammers, which are heavier sticks, double taped. Great for working on chops. Okay, so this is a normal shopping spree, right? Until right here. Now you do 2 of everything. Now 1. And then you remove the check. It's a fun one, right? All right, let's speed this up. We're going to crash and burn intentionally, folks. Here we go. Ugh. Shut cheese at the end. It was rough. Alright, this is probably even my breaking point. My left hand is just feeling a little off. My index finger in particular is just a little tight. 160. 4210. Shopping spree. And my hands are done this morning. That's okay. Speaking of done, there's a doc student that I've been working with, supervising over the last couple years, who's going to graduate today. He's going to become a doctor. He's done. All right. Anyways, if you want to play along to that exercise, there's over 1,500 hours more free content on my website. All these play-alongs are free. Check them out. Tons. Keep you busy for a while. Over 600 grid variations. I can play maybe 2 of them. Just kidding. Yeah. And then if you want to see when I'm streaming and when I'm streaming next, on the slash schedule here, I'll be doing a chop and technique exercises tomorrow. Next Tenor one will be on Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern time, around then. And then around 9 o'clock Eastern in the evening, I'll be playing some Fortnite. And I multi-stream on several different platforms simultaneously. But yeah. Slash drum. That's where to go. And then again, to get the book Quad Logic, just maybe skip some of the double stop stuff. If you go to slash gear on my website and then go to the books, it's this one, Quad Logic by Bill Bachman. Anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And yeah, maybe I'll see you on a future stream. Goodbye.